Christine, and today I'm going to be sorting our favorite books into their Hogwarts houses. Now I know what you're thinking. All you do now is sort things into their Hogwarts houses. I'm sorry, this is my favorite thing to do. I was in a lift the other day and the lift driver was obsessed with talking to me about my astrological sign, and I was like, forget about astrological sign, what's your Hogwarts house? And he didn't know his Hogwarts house. He's going into in-depth discussion about Leos. I'm going into an in-depth discussion about what it means to be a Ravenclaw versus a Gryffindor. I sorted one book into a Hogwarts house in my noobs video, and someone was like, oh my god, please sort books into Hogwarts houses. And I was like, oh my god, this is a thing I didn't know I've always wanted to do. The first student we have here today is Divergent by Veronica Roth. It has to be Gryffindor! Self-sacrifice and bravery to the point of stupidity. Could it be any more Gryffindor? Could it? You go sit next to Harry Potter at the Gryffindor table. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Has to be Slytherin! This took much thought, and I know you could argue me many a thing, but I'm not arguing the characters in the book. I'm arguing the feeling of the book as a whole. It's about a girl who's evaded death a million times with her cunning and her smarts, and she's entering a competition to be the king's assassin. And to be the king's assassin, you have to undermine and use your smarts to do all sorts of dark, shady shit. Whenever I do one of these sorting videos, all the Slytherins get mad at me because, oh my god, Christine, you'll understand Slytherin, you'll understand it. Like, I haven't been around sorting things and debating this with people since the beginning of Harry Potter time. The fact that Slytherins can have a moral compass is true, but as a whole, if you were to give like percentages to moral compasses of the houses, right? Hufflepuff moral compass, let's say that's at 97%, right? And Gryffindor moral compass, let's say that's at 94%. Okay, and then you've got Ravenclaw moral compass, maybe that's like 40%. And then Slytherin moral compass, I'm gonna put it at like 25%. You know, it's there. You can use it, but it's a 25% chance. Whereas in Hufflepuff, it's like 97% chance. And someone is gonna be like, actually, Hufflepuff loyalties could be to evil. Whatever. This is an overarching, just majority look at the houses. Back to the topic at hand. Slytherin! Next victim is a book that I just finished, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was an interesting think, and after some deliberation, this book is sorted into Hufflepuff! Now, there's a lot of different themes running through Daisy Jones and the Six, but when I think of it as a whole, the strongest feeling for me is one of loyalty and trust. It's weird to think that that's what emotes from this book, whilst knowing this is about a band and how the band fell apart. It happens, yo. The way this one happens, for me, feels bred of trust. That's weird. The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Dan Brown books, say what you want about the writing style. These books are undeniably Ravenclaw. They're so full of riddles and scholarly information about art. I've seen people in reviews say it's condescending to tell us what all this art is. I mean, hello, not everyone has their master's in art history. I don't know this shit, and I love learning it. And with Dan Brown books also comes this tense build of suspense for delayed gratification, and I'm a big fan of delayed gratification when you're reading a book. Like, you gotta put that shit together, and then eventually you reap the prize. A lot of my favorite books I've found, like, I didn't even have to think for a second, it just screamed Hufflepuff. Anna and the French Kiss, Hufflepuff. Lola and the Boy Next Door, Hufflepuff. Screaming Hufflepuff. I don't even know why. It's Hufflepuff. To all the boys I loved before, such a Hufflepuff. Landline, it's all about a relationship and the struggle to stay in it and stay loyal. Hufflepuff. Again, but better. Hufflepuff. Tower of Dawn. While a lot of the other Throne of Glass books scream Slytherin or Gryffindor to me, Tower of Dawn, this Cuttlebug is Hufflepuff. The underlying factor to me is loyalty and strength in relationships. The Shatter Me series. I've lost track of Shatter Me, but I've got Restore Me here, which when I think about it, levels into the same house as Shatter Me. And that house, for me, is Slytherin. The series screams survival. It's all about finding a way to keep going. You have to do it in whatever way you can to survive. And a lot of times you're doing it without thinking, you're just going for it. And you could argue that's Gryffindor, but I feel like we're ambitious. The way things happen, the way things go down feels Slytherin. Next we have Geekerella by Ashley Poston. You'd think this would jump out as Hufflepuff, looking back on the history of my sorting hat, but I don't know, for some reason Geekerella strays more to Ravenclaw for me. It feels like more of a misfit story. It feels like overthinking and obsessing about facts and stats, creativity and weirdness. It feels like Ravenclaw, the dark descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. This is a book that screams Slytherin. We haven't got a Scream Slytherin book yet. Screams Slytherin. It's all about Elizabeth's ambition and drive and struggle to do anything to survive. The Mortal Instruments series as a whole. Gryffindor! We've been through this, Clary. Poster girl for Gryffindor. And I'm not saying I'm sorting Clary. I'm not. I'm sorting the book. It just emotes such Gryffindor feelings, there's nothing else I can even see in it but Gryffindor. The Infernal Devices, when I put the hat on the Infernal Devices, it says Ravenclaw. Clockwork just feels more thought through, more hesitant, more riddly and mystery than the Mortal Instruments, which is like, go for it, let's do it. Clockwork Angel is like, let's observe what's happening, let's try to figure it out, and then let's go for it. It's more about the reading, the learning, the intake of knowledge, and then using that knowledge to go forward rather than running forward without the plan. Ravenclaw! Isla and the Happily Ever After, Puff. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, top notch. Slytherin. Slytherin girl trying to survive in a Slytherin world, yo. Looking for Alaska. I thought about this for a second, and to me, this is another Hufflepuff. When it comes down to it, it's about friendship and loyalty. I really love me a Hufflepuff book. The Anti-Darken series by Kirsten White. Totes Slytherin. It's a story about power, about the struggle, about what it does to these siblings, the ruthlessness that it takes to survive and conquer. Gryffindor. The Hate You Give is such a powerful, moving Gryffindor story. Scythe, for me, none other than Ravenclaw. This series is too thought-provoking to be anything else for me. There's so many layers to how thought-provoking the plot is, the world is, the things that happen. It all screams Ravenclaw. It's a part of why I love this so much. You can think about it in so many different ways that you can keep digging and keep seeing these amazing thematic arcs. Oh, dude. Paper Towns, another John Green puff. You know, the whole book revolves around such loyalty to this childhood crush, this childhood idea of a person. And it's about this Hufflepuff having to let this loyalty go. The struggle. Loyal to a fault. The puff flaw. Not to be forgotten, the Gryffindor that started it all. The Harry Potter series. You know, I said, could a book be more Gryffindor than Divergent? Yes, it can. Harry Potter. Can't leave this baby out. Hufflepuff. That's right. Everyone is so loyal. You are my life now, and there's no going back. This book screams you are my life now. Bella is so loyal to her mom and her mom's marriage. She's like, I need to give you space. People who are Gryffindor might try to argue for Gryffindor, okay? But Bella's so loyal from the instant she sees Edward that there's no chance of anything else happening. It's loyalty to her dad that makes her do the shit she does in this book. So she's loyal. She picks something and she's like, I am going with this, even if it kills me. You know, Bella is brave. She's got that self-sacrifice thing happening, but the seed of it, the seed of the series for me, is loyalty to the ones you love in every sense of the word love. This series, The Raven Boys, is like if Luna Lovegood was a book. Not that it has anything to do with Luna Lovegood, but just like the feel. You know, the tone, its personality is Luna Lovegood. It's just, there's so much weirdness. There's so much stuff that's so out there, and you have to puzzle it, and you have to think it through. But it's like, it's a step out there, more than you're used to. That's the Raven Boys. It's strange, and it's weird, but it works, and it's charming. Raven Boys is Ravenclaw. I Have Lost My Way by Gail Forman. A Gryffindor Tale. Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. Ravenclaw! This book emotes Ravenclaw to me. I can't exactly put my finger on it. I think it's the fact that, you know, we're delving into this real event that happened that so many people don't know about. And it makes for this extra layer of thought that runs through everything you read. Dear Martin by Nick Stone. Another Ravenclaw! There's an argument for Gryffindor, but the way that Justice goes about sorting through his thoughts in this book is very Ravenclaw. He sits down, he takes a beat, he writes down his thoughts, and he really thinks everything through, which in turn makes you really think about all these topics he's bringing up in so many different ways. A Court of Thorns and Roses. Gryffindor! Gryffindor pulses off of this series as well. It's the emotion you get from the very beginning. I am starving. I'm the youngest child. Everyone treats me like shit, but I feel a responsibility to take care of them, to feed them. Whatever comes at her, without any second thought, just jumps into it. That's what this book is, just jumping into whatever comes in front of you and conquering it. No matter how hard you fall, no matter how wrong whatever you thought is, you just keep going, keep hitting at it like it didn't ever knock you down before. Aragon, don't even get me started on this kid. Aragon is a Gryffindor, just does shit without thinking, and he makes stupid decisions sometimes. He has those classic Gryffindor faults where he's just like, I can do it. Does it all wrong, ruins everything, and has to come back and fix it. The entire Hunger Games series. Gryffindor. The entire thing is about self-sacrifice. From the very beginning, other houses are gonna get on top and be like, I would sacrifice myself for my sister with no hesitation too. Yeah, but I think the series is Gryffindor. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Where do you fall? What do you think? Came out, for the most part, these piles are pretty even. I'm gonna take that as a sign I'm doing something right. I'm Christine. Thanks for watching. I make videos every Tuesday. I also write books. My debut novel comes out May 7th, 2019. It's available for pre-order now. The link's in the description, and I'm going on tour. Details are on my website. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye!